Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful tasting with the Virtual Tasting Society. I am, as always, Vadim Filofsky, and today we're excited to welcome back a brand we fell in love with a few years ago. Haven't touched it in way too long. Welcome back to Aberfeldy. Today, joining us to talk about Aberfeldy is Freddy Dubon. He is the brand ambassador. Are you California, West Coast? How far is your reach?
Southern California.
Southern California. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today, Freddie. We're excited to dive into this. We have a fantastic lineup, including the 21-year-old and a special independently bottled Aberfeldy as well. But some of the people here have tried Aberfeldy before. Some people have not. Can I get a show of hands who has not had Aberfeldy before? Oh, got a couple of newbies. Awesome. That's great. Welcome. This is the right place to learn. Anyone who's here for the first time, welcome. You will fall in love with our group, hopefully. We're here to ask questions, to get nerdy, so feel free to participate. Use that chat feature. We're all going to be on there. But you're always welcome to unmute yourself and ask questions. We just ask that you keep yourself on mute unless you're participating so that we don't talk over each other. And there's no background noise. But other than that, enjoy the presentation, enjoy the tasting. Freddie, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us about a little bit about yourself and about the brand.
Yeah. How's it going, everybody? My name is Freddy Dubon, as Vadim said. And as we were talking a little bit, I am born and raised in Southern California. I bartended for many years at a little whiskey bar in downtown called 7 Grand. And that's kind of where I got my education in whiskey. And I was there for 7 years at 7 Grand, which is pretty funny and ironic. Yeah. So that's where I kind of got my background in whiskey, and I've been doing it ever since. And I've been with Aberfeldy for about 2 years now. And yeah, I can't wait to talk to you about it. So it's so the story of Aberfeldy is actually really interesting and really, really cool. So we believe in Aberfeldy that we believe Aberfeldy has honeyed richness in every drop. Aberfeldy takes its name from the village of where the distillery sits. The village itself is built along the banks of the River of Tay, which is Scotland's longest river in Perthshire. And that's an area that's described as the gateway to the Highlands because Aberfeldy is classified as a Highland single malt whiskey. So Aberfeldy Distillery was founded in 1898 as the heart malt of the Dewar's blend. So Bacardi actually owns Dewar's and Aberfeldy. Dewar's was bought in 1998. And since Dewar's is a blended Scotch, the 5 distilleries that make up Dewar's came along with the purchase as well. And Aberfeldy was actually invented for one reason only, to be the heart malt of the Dewar's blend. It was built by Tommy Dewar and John Alexander Dewar, who are John Dewar's sons. By this time in 1898, they had taken their father's business, grown it across the world, and wanted to get more on the production line rather than relying on other producers for other whiskeys, since they were doing that with Dewar's. This distillery was designed by Scotland's most famous architect, Charles Doig, and he's famed for the Doig ventilator, or the pagoda, which is essentially a kiln on top of the distilleries that takes away the smoke from the barley, leaving a lighter, floral, easy, non-aggressive whiskey like Aberfeldy. And so this location in Aberfeldy was actually chosen for 3 reasons. One, the 2 sons, John Alexander and Tommy Dewar, wanted to pay tribute to their father, who was born in the neighboring town of Dole. 2, there was the railway access. They needed a way to bring in raw materials in and send whiskey right on out. And 3, as complex as these whiskeys are, like Aberfeldy, it only takes 3 things to make it: yeast, barley, and water. And our water source is the Petillie Burn. So the Petillie Burn is a famous water source, and it's famous for one reason. It contains deposits of alluvial gold. And alluvial gold is just a fancy word for gold, or gold that has been eroded and reshaped over time by water. So historically, in and around the village, in the hills of Aberfeldy, there used to be gold that used to be mined. And throughout time, the gold actually seeped down into the water source, the Batilli burn. So now we use golden water pretty much to make our whiskey. And that's why around the world, we are known as the Golden Dram. So that being said, I think everyone has an Aberfeldy 12 in front of them, right? I'm going to pour myself a little bit of one right now.
So we have the 12, the 16, two 18s, and a 21. I'm guessing we're going to go in that order and finish with the cast strength.
Let's just do that. Yeah, for sure. We can do that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
What order do you want to do the two 18s? Do you want to do the Tuscan or the French first?
Let's do the Cote Rôtie, then we do the Tuscan second.
Okay, so French and then Tuscan. Perfect.
Yes. So now everyone has, I'm assuming, the glass of the 12-year-old right here, right? So as you put this to your nose, you're gonna see it's gonna be very light, floral. The note that we like to highlight is that honeyed richness. We use for the cast, we use a first fill bourbon, first fill sherry, and a refill and a rechar cast, matured in a combination of all three. And the reason why Aberfeldy has that beautiful honeyed richness and light and floral is three reasons. One, the Doig ventilator that Charles Doig invented in our distillery helps the smoke from the barley, again, like the kiln sucks up the smoke from the barley, so leaving a lighter barley to use. Two, when you walk into the distillery of Aberfeldy, you're going to see very tall, skinny stills, more like kind of like onion-like stills. And the reason for that is when you distill whiskey and the fume goes right up the middle of the still, it actually interacts with every part of the still. And that is the copper interaction that is called reflux. So when copper interacts with whiskey, the copper actually removes those heavy sulfur notes, resulting in a lighter floral whiskey. And three, the last reason is our fermentation time. In Scotland, the average fermentation time for Scotch whiskey is about 55 to 60 hours. We do 72 hours. Again, we want to achieve this very light floral honeyed richness note as whiskey, so that as Aberfeldy, and that's why we do these three things. So fermentation, stills, and the Doig ventilator is the big thing. What do you guys think of this 12-year-old so far? For the people that haven't had it.
Hey, it's pretty dang good.
I'm glad you guys you like this one right now.
It's funny, we've had a lot of whiskey and you know, I forget how delicious these 12-year-old 40%ers can be. Every time I revisit this,
I feel the same way. Like I work for the company and every time I try the 12, I'm like, this is so good. So when I was working at $7,000 before this position, I used to love Aberfeldy. It was kind of like a alternative to pretty much like a Macallan or something like Aberlour or along those lines right there. And it was way cheaper. So I think this bottle goes for like $40 or something in the store for a 12-year-old Scotch at 40 proof. I mean, 80 proof, sorry, 40% ABV. It's delicious.
I'm really getting the strong floral note. It's very pleasant. It's not overpowering, and then the finish just has that honey. Has a thinner mouthfeel, but you definitely get the honey on the back end of it.
For sure, 100%. And we like to highlight that honey note, as Vadim showed earlier. there was a bear glass. So actually Aberfeldy teams up with local beekeepers and local farms, and we like to actually bring local honey to bartenders so they can make cocktails with this. So we're really big on that honey richness, and it's all natural flavor. It's not added flavors, or it's not like Canadian whiskey or any of that stuff. Just kidding. Are we ready to move on to the 16-year?
So you said the 12-year is a marriage of different types of casks. It's not a finish, right?
Yeah, it's not a finish. And does everyone know the difference between finishing cask and maturation? Does some
You
people
can just touch on it. That's fine.
Yeah, I just thought, yeah. So just maturation is just pretty much just blending a combination of multiple casks within one distillery. So for Aberfeldy, we use the for the 12-year-old, we use the first fill bourbon, the first fill sherry, and the rechar and the refill casks, and we blend those all together. The 16-year that we're going to chase is a finished Aberfeldy. This is one of my favorites. But finishing is essentially taking a whiskey from one barrel that's already complete and ready to be bottled, and just letting it sit in another barrel that used to hold some type of wine. In this case, for the 16, an Oloroso sherry cask. This one is going to be Aberfeldy 12 is going to have some of those honey notes, so the Aberfeldy 12 DNA, but it's going to be, I like to call this one the journey whiskey. So it's going to be a longer finish, hints of dark chocolate, fruit cake, and creamy vanilla. But we use a Oloroso sherry cask. We use the cask, it's finished for up to 6 months. So our malt master and master blender for Dewar's, her name is Stephanie McLeod. She is the first woman in the history to be in this position as a malt master and a master blender. She uses Aberfeldy 16. She lets it sit in the Oloroso sherry cask for up to 6 months. And I don't give a specific time. I don't say 2, 3, 4 months. I say up to 6 months, because every week she's tasting the whiskey and seeing when it's ready to be bottled. And once it's ready to be bottled, then it could be 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, but it's up to 6 months and no longer than 6 months. What do you guys think about this one? This one is I think a journey whiskey. So once you taste it and it's gone, I think you still keep getting these new notes that pop into it. Sweet, like a sweet bread. Yeah, like fruitcake, I'm thinking.
I like that this one isn't too heavy on the sherry. I can be really sensitive about Oloroso. That can be cloying in some cases.
I agree
This
too.
is like a light touch, and kind of on the back end, there's like a kind of dark caramel that just sort of sits on the sides of the palate for me.
Yeah, and even if you compare the 12 and the 16, you can see like the huge color difference. It's almost night and day, and it is light, I guess, on the sherry, but still, it's still like really dark, and I mean, it's kind of interesting actually. Aberfeldy is just known for being that lighter floral whiskey. Yeah, so Stephanie McLeod, she's our malt master and master blender for Dewar's. She actually won the IWC, which is the international whiskey competition for Dewar's, and she's the first person to win it 4 times in a row from 2019. And we're so lucky to have her behind these brands right here, the 16, the 12, and these beautiful whiskeys.
You know, really interesting, like I think it's from the sherry cask, but to me, it's coming across like an apple rind note, that kind of a sweetness. So it's not quite cotton candy, it's more apple rind.
Apple rind, huh?
So the last 2 we've had are 40%.
Yeah,
What's the decision? What's behind the decision to make them at 40%?
Stephanie McLeod so actually that's funny that you asked that because I've asked the same question when I actually went to the distillery, and Stephanie just wants a whiskey that is pretty much the gateway to single malt scotch, and that's the reason why she does it so light, because she just wants it to be kind of enjoyed by everybody instead of a certain whiskey drinker, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's taking away from it. I just think it's an interesting decision,
No, for
especially
sure,
with the
yeah.
16.
And she actually does Krigaliki as well. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Krigaliki, but that is 92 proof, like all across the board, except no, yeah, it's just 92 proof, so it's a little higher. I think it's just the style of like Aberfeldy, what Aberfeldy's known for. Any questions on the 16 or the 12 or some?
I think we're all too busy enjoying them.
I'm glad you like. So usually when I showcase the 12 and the 16, people tend to flock towards the 12 or flock towards the 16. What is everyone thinking right now? Everyone's digging the 16 or the 12?
Yes.
16 for me.
16, I love it.
And Bacardi must have a partnership with whatever cruise line that I went on to go to Mexico a couple of weeks ago, because Aberfeldy 16 was what they had at the bar, and that's what I drank the whole weekend, and it was amazing.
That's actually really crazy, because if you were to go to a bar in LA, they're out of stock. Only for some reason all our stuff goes to like Costco and Total Wines as soon as it hits the warehouses. So that's actually funny that you got on a cruise, because it's kind of rare a little bit. Not rare, but it's not easy to find the 16.
Maybe they shop at Costco, the cruise line.
Yeah, exactly.
They also had a Glen Deveron 21 that I kept trying to get them to pour me, and for some reason they never got to try.
The Deveron 21.
Yeah.
Does everybody know the 5 distilleries that came along with the purchase for Dewar's? I mean, it's Aberfeldy, Krigaliki, Deveron, Royal Bracala, and Altmore. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with those, but Stephanie McLeod is behind all these 5 brands.
Do you know about what percentage they get to actually make their own product that's not getting used up for Dewar's?
That's a good question. They didn't tell me a percentage, but they told me that every time you drink Dewar's, there's always Aberfeldy in it, but I'm not sure how much on the percentage wise it goes into the bottle, but I know it's always in there. It's called, when people talk about it at the distillery, it's called the heart malt of the Dewar's. So I don't know, maybe like, I don't even want to say a percentage because I'm not sure exactly.
Is she the blend master of all of those 5 that you just mentioned?
She's the malt master, because those are single malt, and she's the master blender for Dewar's because that's a blended scotch.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, she's amazing. She was a sensory analyst before this position. So she used to like taste things and make sure they were all, or test things before they went to market for sale. So she's really good with her taste buds and all these stuff. So there's like some notes that Stephanie McLeod even tastes that sometimes I question, because I'm just like, maybe I'm not good enough. There's, for example, in the 12 years, she talks about there's a hint of smoke, and I don't even taste it, but she says like, she's really really amazing with tasting notes and tasting these whiskeys. She's great.
I think most of us can't stack up against her palate.
100%. No, absolutely not. I know I can't.
We are mere mortals.
She's actually coming to town this month. She will be at 7 Grand, I think the 15th. If anybody is.
Why is every brand coming to town the next month? It's crazy.
Like tickets and whatnot.
But just like everyone,
COVID travel is over.
I guess.
You think?
Is everyone ready for the coat rotate?
Yeah, we're gonna do the 218 side by side.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. No rush for everyone. I don't want everybody to rush to the 16s or anything.
Mm.
The 18 is delicious. The coat rotate, they're both great.
And there have been multiple expressions of the 16 in the past, right? You guys have
Yeah,
done it
so
recently.
Stephanie McLeod does a special release yearly. The year before this was the coat roti, and then the year before the year after was the Tuscan cast, which you both have. You should have, and then this year is a 15-year Cabernet Sauvignon cast from Napa Valley.
So the French cask, is that the 2921?
I'm not sure. 2921. Is
Isn't
that
that isn't that the cask number for the
Oh,
Cote Rôtie?
yeah. Sorry, I was confused. I thought it was the bottles that Vadim shipped or something. Yeah, 2921.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one is gonna be super good. So this is a Cote Rôtie cast. It's a French red wine cast from the Rhone Valley. Like I said, Stephanie McLeod does these special releases, and this one is very good. It's 86 proof. It's a little hotter than the 12 and the 16. So the normal percentage wise ABV for our standard lineup, the 12, 16, and 21 is 40% ABV, and this one's 43. So just right away, again, you still get that honey, you get berries, vanilla, and some spice on the back end. And the Tuscan is not peated at all for Jacqueline.
It's so I get some smoke in it, so that's really
For
interesting.
sure, yeah, for sure. I know, but yeah, it's just I think it's just
Is that just the wood?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And the Tuscan is Tuscan's I think the notes I get off the Tuscan cat. Are you tasting them side by side, or should we do just the 18 Cote Rôtie and then the Tuscan, or just side by side, I guess?
Well, even if we're tasting them side by side, we're gonna start
Yeah.
with one. Go ahead and
Yeah,
talk about the
let's
one.
start with the Cote Rôtie. So the Cote Rôtie I get berries, vanilla, and still that traditional DNA of Aberfeldy, which is that honeyed richness again. Super delicious. This is limited release, so there's actually no more floating around, unfortunately. So what you guys have is the last of it. Yeah, pinkies up. I love that. And then this Tuscan cast. So we moved out of France and went into Italy, and we got a Tuscan cast off the Tuscan coast. This one is beautiful. Again, that honeyed richness. I get green peppers, lime, and some soft oak. I think that's where the smoke and like the spice and the smoke comes in the back end.
The finish is really different than, the initial taste.
On the Tuscan or the
On the Tuscan,
yeah, for sure, right?
you don't taste the spice and the smoke initially.
Yeah. So
But after
yeah,
you swallow it, now you can taste the smoke and then lots of spice lingering.
for sure. The notes that the Tuscan cast actually gives off, like the notes that are a traditional Tuscany wine, are like blackberries, cherries, and oak. So I love how that adds to the initial flavor of Aberfeldy.
Wasn't there also a Madeira release?
Yeah, that was before my time, but yes, there was a Madeira release. Now I did enjoy it in Scotland. It was pretty good. But my favorites are the 218s and the 16 right now. Um, to put a number one is going to be so hard. I think someone else said that as well. Carrie, yeah, it's going to be hard to vote.
Oh, you're gonna have to though.
I'll let you guys do the voting. I won't do the voting. I like it all. And like it's so different too. Like I love how just like the little like more percentage on like just creates this whole new wave of whiskey, because the 16 is only 40% and it's finished in the cask and still has a long finish, while these two 18s again have like a long finish as well. But I feel, I don't know, it's higher proof, so I understand that. But for the 16, it's just cool at what Stephanie McLeod does in the finishing cast. I love what she does. She crushes it all the time. Does anyone have any questions on any of these whiskeys so far, or just about Aberfeldy in general?
So how much of the production goes into the Dewar's blend and how much goes to the single malt?
Yeah, I think Jason asked that earlier. I don't have an exact percentage on the amount, but
Gotcha.
we are referred to as the heart of the Dewar's blend. So every time you pick up a bottle of Dewar's, just know that you're drinking some Aberfeldy along with it. It's actually, yeah, it's pretty cool.
How many different distilleries are in Dewar's? Is it just your five or there's others?
No, so we're definitely, there's definitely five for sure, which is the ones I mentioned, which is Craigellachie, Aberfeldy, Altmore, Royal Brackla, and the Deveron. But there's a bunch. And it's pretty funny because in working at a bar or like working in this job, I go around to like all the other bars and people are always saying like, oh, I like this whiskey more than this whiskey. I like this whiskey more than this whiskey. But when you go to Scotland, everyone actually trades so much whiskey. It's pretty, like, distilleries you wouldn't think about. They trade with they trade so many barrels. It's like like no one pays it second mind. Just like everyone just trading barrels. And over here it's like, no, this brand is better than this brand. This brand is better than this brand. And it's just funny because, yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's tons of different distilleries and Dewar's, but because everyone's super friendly out there in Scotland. They love to trade, they love to share whiskeys and all that good stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's, I don't know, I want to say a number, but like more than 20 or something. Who knows? But there's definitely the five for sure, and Aberfeldy is definitely in there 100%.
I think Vadim was saying it, that the 218s are really different from each other. And
For
it's
sure.
really true. Like I like the nose on the coat, the roti, the roti, the French, but I'm not thrilled about the nose on the Tuscan.
But do you like the finish on the Tuscan?
The finish on the Tuscan is crazy. It's amazing. I mean, you've got, just is totally different from the taste, and well, maybe not totally different, but it's very different from the taste. And you get that little bit of smoke and then boom, spice. And the spice just lingers and lingers. And I think the Cote Roti is more, it's more consistent. if you will, from taste to finish, and I feel like it's a little bit more. It's a little more tame. It's less of a big surprise at the end. Like the Tuscan gives you this big surprise at the end.
For sure, I agree.
Yeah, it's really fun that she's able to do this.
Yeah, and it's funny because yeah, like when I went to Scotland, I got she's working on so many other finishes. It's just insane. The way she thinks and the way I mean, who would have known like coat roti out of all the casts like would be amazing. And now people are starting to do that as well. She is kind of like paving the way for many other distilleries, and I mean, it's just beautiful what she's doing. And then that's why she's won the IWC, which like in Scotland, it's such a big deal. And she's won it in 2019 as the first woman and the first person to win it 4 times in a row consecutively. After that, it's just she's super badass.
What is she going to do in LA?
A Doers Aberfeldy deconstruction class. So at $7,000, there's a bar in the back called Bar Jackalope, and she will be doing kind of like a whiskey society there.
So it's probably sold out.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. If you check on the
I feel like they don't advertise until like a couple days before because they will sell out.
They will. They're crazy. Yeah. So if you just you can go to the Instagram or you can see the little link. I'm sure there's tickets available.
Does anybody have the link? Man, I feel like I would really enjoy that. And my project is coming to an end just about that time. So I can actually leave work. That would be great.
Yeah, and she's a genius behind all these whiskeys. So it'd be really awesome to hear her speak.
Do you have a link for us?
Let me see if I can. If you give me a second, I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see. I can try to pull it
Yeah,
up.
we'd love to attend, show up and support.
Of course, it'll probably sell out if you just give it to us.
Perfect. I'm not going to be here, but you all should enjoy. I was looking at the 18s. Yeah, I remember there being a third 18. So the 18 is a limited edition, right?
Yeah. So these ones are discontinued. So both of these 18s are done. There's no more.
So the core range is the 12, the 16, and the 21. The 18s are all special.
Exactly. Or just like anything that's different from the 12, 16, and 21 is just a special release. So
yeah, I remember there was another 18. It was the Payak cask.
Oh, the Polyak, yeah.
Yeah,
that one I have not tried, but I heard it was killer.
I think that's the one we tried last time. That's the one that was out 3 years ago.
Yeah, that one's amazing. So then that's when you had Una, I believe, right?
We did. Yep.
Yeah, amazing. It was great. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so what we're trying right now, the 18s are it's rare. It's rare stuff. Discontinued, doesn't exist no more. Beautiful whiskeys, and we get to drink them together right now. I love it. Did everyone decide on the poll? I'm just curious now to see.
It was a tough call.
All right, everybody voted. Cool. I'm closing it out. Derek looks like he wants to vote. There we go. All right, votes are in. Freddy, which one do you think is the winner?
Coat roti.
All right, hands down, right? Easy answer.
Yeah.
$1 million. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, free bottles for everyone.
He doesn't know us, does he?
I went. Oh.
I love a good trick question. They are tied 11-11. Look at that.
Wow.
Exactly. Derek brought it in. There was the leader and he evened him out.
Oh,
I have a bottle of the Cote Roti and I really enjoy it. And
okay.
Yeah, but I voted for the Tuscan just because I feel like there's something different there, a little wild, and I like that.
And you can find a Tuscan still in the wild if you go and look for it. I mean, there's still some around. We're not completely sold out of that in California, so if you just call a liquor store, that I'm sure that you can get a bottle, and they're relatively cheap. It's like $90 or something. Yeah, I like that you can enjoy these good whiskeys and also not break the bank. So the 12 is $40, 16 is about 70-ish. Oh, see, 119. Don't mess up. Vadim, you said you gave everyone a what was it, that single barrel or something?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that one last because it's cat strength.
Yeah, I was just curious what it was.
It was the Gordon MacPhail 16-year-old
Oh, that's right. That's
from
right. That's
KNL.
right. Yeah,
You have it, right? You've had it.
I had it a long time ago.
You should have told me. I would have poured your sample.
It's all good. I'm gonna just live through you guys. Through you guys.
Well, we gotta suffer through the 21 first.
Oh, such a rough one. It's
I
so
know, right?
such a rough life we live, guys.
Oh no, this foie gras.
Did everyone say it again? What
I
did you
have
say?
to eat this filet mignon before I get to the dessert. Oh no.
You know what's funny? Funny story. I actually did a guided tasting for this place in Santa Monica with Aberfeldy. I did a course dinner, and they were telling me it's a dinner, it's all these good stuff, and I was like, cool. So I went super hungry, and I was like counting the seats at this dinner, and I was like, I think there's one missing. There's no seat for me. And it turns out I was just hosting it and not actually a part of the dinner. So I got to and see everyone enjoy this beautiful steak and ribeye and all this stuff, and drinking it with Aberfeldy. And I was over there just.
I think you need to call HR about that.
I think so too. I know I was bird's eye view, just watching everyone's plate, and it was rough. But yeah, are we ready to move to the 21-year-old now? Or are we still enjoying the 18? No rush. I'm just asking. Yeah, the Cobra T is my favorite of the two 18s, but I do enjoy the Tuscan so much.
Really, this is too hard to pick. I can't. That's too hard.
Still, right? Like, even after the poll, I'm just like, I don't even know. Like, yeah, it's Tuscan, yeah, it's Cobra T, but I think my heart is Cobra T, but that's because I feel like I had it first before the Tuscan, so I just feel like that's what my heart just likes.
Well, yeah, but now we're gonna have to pick from all of it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the 21 is killer too. The 21 is amazing. It's so good. 21, the 18s are so good. The 16 is amazing. Also, the 12 is great. Like, I love the 12. It's very cocktail versatile, so you can use it. And I drink highballs with that every day, all day is my kind of my go-to drink.
For people who have too many bottles, but they would love to have some Aberfeldy, I go out and I get the 3 kit. You know, I think they're 200 milliliters each. Yeah, that one. The 12, 16, and 21.
It's the best little trio. Yeah, it has little mini 12.
Yeah.
16, they're like 200 ml bottles. They're very tiny.
Yeah, but they're perfect that you can choose which one you want, you know, when you're for the mood you're in, and you're not buying a whole extra bottle of one thing. You get it's nice.
It's actually cheaper this way. If you
it's
at KNL, that 3-pack is $60, and what is it? The 16-year-old's 90, the 21's like 200. So if you do the math, you do 3.5 of these. You're actually winning by getting a 3-pack.
Yeah, it's pretty killer actually. I love, and I carry these in my backpack when I'm walking to accounts every time. So they're airplane bottles. I mean, Big, oh man, I mean, yeah.
TSA is not gonna let those in.
I
Yeah.
know. Suitcase airplane bottle is what I meant to say.
But what I like about it is you get the trio, right?
Yeah, for
And
sure, yeah.
you
And
get
and you can see how it evolves through age, through cast finishes, and like I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just awesome. And again, like I mean, since you said I know you've had all three. Like Aberfeldy is just known for being just a light, easy drinking whiskey. It's really cool.
Aberfeldy's very smart to have that. Because
Yeah,
honestly, I feel like if more companies had that type of thing, then I think they'd move more of their product because it's hard to buy a whole bottle if you're not really sure. But if you buy the sampler set, you get to select, you get to learn about the thing without, shelling out too much money and having a bottle that you just drank 30 ounces out of 30 ounces.
200 mLs.
Yeah, 30
I
mils.
agree. I agree. Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, it's like it's the best. They're the best trio pack for sure.
The other cool thing is the 12 is always doing cool packaging. A couple years ago, you guys released like a gold bar.
Oh, did we do that for Father's Day?
Oh, was that for Father's Day? I thought it was Christmas. All right, yeah. So
I mean,
So is it out now then?
yeah, if Costco has the gold tins.
and I think they're on sale right now too.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think Costco's like,
You're right. I just bought one.
yeah, Costco's amazing. I love Costco.
I actually got it at Circus Liquor.
Oh, I love that place too. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like Circus Liquor. What I think, Showcase in Pasadena might have the tins as well. I don't know if that's close to anybody. And then I think Mission as well, if anybody knows that. Are you ready for the 21 year now? For the ribeye, as you described, Vadim.
I call this the fillet, but
Oh, the fillet. Okay, I'm
whatever
thinking
your
ribeye
favorite
because I'm
steak
like
is.
ribeye is in my head right now from that dinner I missed. I'm telling you. Let me pour it.
I was just looking at our local shop, High Time down at Costa Mesa.
Oh yeah,
They have the 12 and the 16 for an amazing price.
Oh yeah,
If
that's
either
crazy.
if either one of yours are those your favorite, the Aberfeldy 16 that's a great price.
what is it?
$79.
Oh wow, yeah, it's killer. That's a killer price. All right, so this 21-year-old is, I mean, they're all I keep saying my favorites, but they're all so good. So this 21-year-old is a first fill sherry cask, a first fill bourbon cask. We use rechar cask and a refill cask for this. Again, you're gonna have that honeyed richness, but I think like a little bit of different honey, like a floral heather honey, creamy vanilla, dried fruits, and there's gonna be like a little bit of smoke on the back end, but I don't like to call it smoke. I like to call it more of like a toasted coconut, I think. And that's what I get on this 21 right here. It's and again, it's like for a 21-year-old scotch, it's so crazy that it's very light and easy drinking. And it coats like the whole tongue. And I think, it could be a smoke, but I still get like a coconut that has been toasted just a bit. It's so good. Yeah, coconut cream, exactly.
It goes down a little too easy.
A little too easy, right? So out of the mine disappeared. Out of the 12, 16, and 21, besides the 18s, what are people thinking between these three, I think? Now that we've tried the trio. Oh, Jesus. This poll again. Huh.
Yeah, I agree with Kate. They're all very easy to drink.
They're all too easy to drink. Jesus. Okay, let me see this poll that Vadim just posted. Let's see.
Oh, looks like everybody's voted. All right.
All right, let's see. I'm curious. Can I take a guess?
Yeah, take a guess. What do you think is the favorite?
16.
I mean, technically, last time you weren't wrong, right? So, the
Drum
results are
roll.
in.
Oh,
16 is in second
wow.
place.
Wow.
21 is delicious. This is money.
Yeah,
I just
21 won it by
can't
one vote.
afford it all the time. That's the thing. That's why I chose the 16.
Honestly, I think I would drink the 16 over the 21 on a daily basis. I think the 21 is delicious, but it's got a drying note on the end.
Yeah, for sure. It is very dry. It does leave my mouth a little dry. Oh yeah, the 18s did tie again. That's funny.
No, 16 is down by one vote. So 16 has got 6 votes and 21 got 7.
Right,
Oh,
but he's saying that the 18s are both still tied. Even
Oh,
in
the
the
18s are still tied. Yeah, you're right. There you go. And the 12 got a couple of votes. So, I mean,
yeah, the
every one of
12
these
is,
has been
I mean,
good.
the 12 is so money, honestly. It's like
That's why it's in the gold box.
yeah, that's why it's the golden dram. We use the gold water. I mean, and it's funny because in Scotland, like I people just it's referred to as like kind of the golden dram, like a lot of places. I'm like, oh, let me get the golden dram, and everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's so funny. It's actually a funny thing. Yeah, I haven't revisited the 21 in a few months, and it's actually really good. It's so good, but the 16 has my heart forever.
I think the 16 is going to be in my little flask for my flight tomorrow. I think that's what I'm taking.
Where do you have to go tomorrow?
I'm just flying to Paris.
Oh, well.
Really?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Vadim.
no,
Poor
it's a tough
Vadim.
life. And
Tough
then to
life. Somebody's
Portugal.
gotta do it.
My heart bleeds for you, sir. My heart bleeds.
Oh
for
wait,
you.
are you just flying to Ontario for Paris, California?
Yes,
Paris,
taking them on
Texas.
Paris,
private jet.
Texas.
Yeah, followed by Lisbon. So
Well,
that's the
we're-
plan. But look, to make you guys feel better, I'm flying with what is known as the Spirit of international flights. So I'm gonna have it's gonna be a
What
terrible flight.
airline is that?
We're gonna talk about it after we finish the recording.
Oh, okay.
Good call.
All right. So back to this 21 year. It's fantastic.
By the way,
hopefully, go ahead.
I was just going to say, by the way, the 21 year is included in that little gift box.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yes, 12, 16, and 21. So if anybody wants to know those gift box, I forgot where K. You said K and L. Yeah, it's K and L is awesome.
They're out there.
Yeah, you can find them in lots of different places. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you, Vadim.
No, you're good.
And it's crazy how we like I love how from the 12, the 16, and like 21, it's just like the 12 and the 21 are using casts that are matured in a combination of different casts, and the 16's finished. And the Oloroso Sherry, I mean, such a great lineup. 12, 16.
So
20.
what's the 21 makeup again?
Yeah, does everybody want the cast for every one of them? I can just go through all of them again.
Yeah, that'd be
Or-
great.
Yeah, so the 12 year, we use a first fill bourbon. We use a first fill sherry, a
I'm guessing
refill,
Oloroso.
yeah, a refill and a rechar cast. And for the 16, it's just first fill bourbon, rechar cast, and then finished in 100% Oloroso sherry. And for the 21, we use a first fill sherry cast, a first fill bourbon, rechar cast, and refill cast. Not finished, matured. 16 is the only one that is finished out of the trio. It's kind of cool, I think. How, I mean, and I think the 12 and the 16 are essentially like the same, except they're essentially the same thing. It's just 11 years difference, or yeah, or 9. I don't know. I can't do math. Sorry, guys.
You mean the 12 and 21?
Yeah, they're like it's just the age difference is the only thing.
Yep. I'm sure the makeup of the different casks is different too, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, as we move on to our last dram of the night, it's not an official bottling, but it is one that we were excited to include because there's not a lot of independently bottled Aberfeldy out there that I know of. But I do invite you all to jump on camera. Michael, Christy, Carrie, Allison, Rory, Tim. Did I call out everybody by name? Incomplete lists and all. Jump on camera and raise a glass. Rory's back. Woo! There we go. Michael's hit. Oh my God, I'm getting everyone.
Alice.
Yes.
Yay.
Christy, come on, get us to 100%. Almost there. Almost there.
Sorry, I don't have any lights in my room. It's really dark.
No worries, no worries. Well, you're raising a glass with us. You're here. We trust you. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, Freddie, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for spending the evening, and thank you to
100%.
Aberfeldy, and thank you to the
Oh, so what's that taste like, guys? Tell me, talk to me, Goose.
Did everybody already pour their 16?
I haven't tasted it yet, but I nosed it and I forgot that it was cask strength.
That's a
that
dangerous
hurt.
thing to forget.
That hurt just a little bit.
What's the proof on it, guys?
We're looking at 58.8%.
Holy cow. Okay, so 116-ish.
Yeah, 117.6, I think.
Nice. If you go to K&L, they have some Krigaliki single barrels, which is really cool, by Old Particular. And they're at cast strength as well, at 114 proof, I believe. They're
Let me
great.
see. So I'll try to pull up the information on this guy. 16-year-old Aberfeldy, and of course there's no information on their website. That's fantastic.
Aberfeldy website?
No, on the K&L website. Usually they're really good about having a ton of info. I mean, I can go grab the bottle. Refill sherry hogshead is what it looks like.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, 2003, 58.8. It's a cool one to try. What do people think on this?
I don't know about others, but I taste peat and and just a lot of heat. I mean, compared to what we've just been tasting, the
Very different.
Heat and heat.
yeah, peat and heat.
I mentioned it in the chat, but I'm getting spearmint and honey on it.
If you had tried this without knowing that this was the same distillery that we had tried the other 5, would you have said that this was Aberfeldy?
I don't think I would have known, no. But I wonder if I add water that
Try it.
I would calm it down.
I think it should open up.
I added a couple drops of water, really opened up, and I got the honey note. And actually, I I dig it. I got a lot of wood note on it, which I like quite a bit. Reminds me of the 21. It's pretty good.
I
Yeah.
think that honey note paired up with that peppermint or spearmint and kind of tamped down on it, so it's this nice, pleasant mint flavor that comes down. But on the nose, there's something. I don't know if it's wood or if it's smoke. I can't tell. It comes across as peat to me, but it's a very pleasant low note.
Yeah, there's a bit of smoke, but it's like a sweet smoke.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's cool that you guys can taste this because there's no like really like single barrels that Aberfeldy does unless it's like kind of a special exclusive like this, or in the UK is really where the single barrels are at.
You guys do like a special golden release, right? It's something called exceptional casks.
Yeah, we do have an exceptional cast. I think we have a 25-year out right now.
Yeah, there's one at Mission.
Yeah, I haven't had it yet though.
What's the deal with those?
It's just like we had one, for example. It's just like kind of like the 16. Well, so for example, we had a 20. I had a 24-year-old, or no, I forgot what year I had. A 24-year-old Aberfeldy, and it was something really like really weird because it was finished in an Oloroso sherry for 8 years. So it's always something crazy like that. That's what these exceptional casts are. Something just one off that is in it is just random and weird and really cool. So the last one I had that was an exceptional cast was an Oloroso sherry cast that was finished for 8 years, which I've never really seen, which is kind of cool. So it's usually stuff like that. Just one-offs or whatever Stephanie McLeod's filling.
I see 2 different exceptional casks at Remedy.
Yeah, well, it's a 25 and what other ones do you see?
A 20 and a 24.
Try cleaning them though.
Oh, okay.
They did a new website update, which makes you see bottles that are sold out. It's really annoying.
They don't mark it like that. Too bad.
Mhm.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I got real excited on a few bottles.
This is Mission, the website?
Remedy.
Oh, Remedy. Gotcha, Remedy. Sorry.
They have really amazing prices and a really good selection. It's just this new update that when you search for something, it doesn't tell you if it's sold out or not right on the search page. You have to click it, and then you're like, "Oh,
You're right.
it's
They're both sold out, Vidim. Yep. That's a heartbreaker because that would have been interesting.
But the 3-pack of the minis is 56.
Good price.
Winner, best price in the market.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. So whoever said add water to this, totally right. It brought
Yeah.
out all the honey, made it so much better. Took all it off the edges. The first time I tried this, it was super smoky for me, and I was a little turned off. And I'm really digging it. I just think it's nice to get to try something out of the box for a distillery, you know, out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I tried I mean essentially a single barrel at the distillery, and it was straight from the cask. It was really, really intense, like super cask strength. And I think you asked me earlier, like, why does Stephanie keep it at 80 proof? Or and I was thinking because maybe that's just why, because when I did try it out of the cask, it was just like so much. It was just too much going on. So I think watering it down for sure, you know, makes it palatable for everybody. But
It might just
Also-
be really that it's such a light spirit. It's such a light flavor that a little lower alcohol helps.
for sure. And like
I mean,
these, oh, sorry,
we
go ahead.
we see that in the G&M, right? We a bunch of us tasted it, and it was a little too harsh, but with a little water it opened up and it mellowed out a bit. So yeah, I feel like Vadim is right. It's a lighter taste, and the hard the higher alcohol is a little bit tougher to bring out those flavors.
Awesome. Any other questions for Freddie? Because we do have some raffle items we want to give away. And I know you're all waiting for that. So we do want to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Freddie was really nice enough to hook us up. Everyone got some swag, I think. So if there are no more questions, are there any more questions? Because I'm going to hit stop on this and I'm not going to record anymore.
I almost kept all the swag for the West Side, but just for the record, everyone on the West Side got something.
Oh,
It wasn't
wow.
big for everyone, but I did get a hat and shirt. I'll confess I took 2 things, but everyone on the West Side did get something.
Okay.
Yeah, the Valley folk got stuff too.
Nice. I think it was Rory. He like specifically requested an item. It was on the list. You saw it.
I did. I saw
Okay.
that version and got
Good.
that.
Cool, cool, cool. Ah. Awesome. Oh my God, Jason is twinsing with Melinda. Who wore it best? There we go. Let's go. We're gonna be the Aberfeldy thugs.
Oh, I just have a hoodie.
There we go. There we go. Michael's joining in.
I love it. They're actually really great beanies.
Yeah, where y'all been? All night you should have been wearing this.
Guys, you're
Everybody
all
looking all
in
sexy.
California. You don't know about beanies. Like, it's not cold enough for that.
I mean,
It's
say, it's
chilly at the moment.
Yeah, this
What is
this-
Yeah, what is chili?
I
Hang
will
on,
tell
I
you.
can.
It's
I
like
have a-
67 degrees outside, all right? It's freezing.
It's freezing, exactly. 57. Everything freezes at 57 degrees
I
Fahrenheit.
said
It's
67. Don't
it
get
is
crazy.
currently 60 at my house, so there you go.
Michigan still had frost last week, so y'all shut up.
I was waiting for Jason to chime in. I was like, the man from Michigan needs to speak. I am so sorry.
I have an about
Okay, but that's the weather where you break out the shorts, Jason. You're like, finally.
I have an
You
about,
shovel snow in shorts and flip flops.
I have an about to be 12-year-old daughter who lives her life in hoodies and beanies, and so she rocks a lot of Cal stuff and a lot of whiskey stuff. What are you gonna do?
It's so funny because in LA, as soon as it hits like 60, everyone's wearing, big coats, and it's like it's so funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if it hits 60, it's time to pull out your snowboarding jacket. What
Oh,
is this
100%.
nonsense?
Yeah. I was like, I'm ready to have all the gear. Yeah, it's funny.
And I already wrote a strongly worded letter to the California tax board to get a tax break for this year for all the rain and all the cold weather on my California taxes.
Yeah. How do we sign on to that? Because I
Yeah.
agree.
I pay extra for the sunshine.
Well, they gave you a tax extension this year, so
Good luck with that.
no, everybody got a tax extension in California because
I
of our
think
rate.
Was it all of California? I think it was like
All
only
of, no, all of California, according to my accountant.
All right, good.
And I
Good.
think it's
Vadim, our accountant.
I think it's October 15th or something. It's
Yeah.
ridiculously late. It's
Very
surprising.
late this year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that, October.
It's
something.
because we had a national emergency in California.
So we
It
can
was
thank
rain.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it was
rain for that.
wet.
All
It
right, well,
rained. Oh,
this has been really awesome. Thank you all so much. I'm gonna hit stop on the recording and we're gonna mess around. So cheers everyone. See you at the next one.